How's it going, guys? I'm KTO, and today we're talking about 5 rookies who came out of nowhere this season. And to clear this up, I made this list based off rookies who were either undrafted or weren't drafted in the first 3 rounds. And really quickly, shout out to all of you who played in my Fire Fan League. We had a great turnout for Wildcard Weekend. Here are the winners of the Wildcard games. Ricky Sanchez, who won twice, Derek White, Tyler Peterson, and Elijah Martinez. If you're in my league and haven't joined this week's games, go to the app and come play against me. If you haven't signed up yet, you definitely should. We will make live picks during playoff games drive by drive. We had some games come down to the wire last week, and I want you to join in on the fun. Click on the link in the description and it'll take you straight to my league. So on that note, on to the video. Number 1, Jordan Howard. With all the sadness glooming over the Bears organization, Jordan Howard is one of the few bright spots this season. He wasn't exactly supposed to be the feature back right off the bat in any sense. They picked him up in the 5th round in the last draft, looking to eventually work him into the rotation. What's interesting is Howard played at UAB, which actually completely shut down their football team in 2015. So he had to find somewhere new to play, and ended up at the University of Indiana. And he was a workhorse for them, earning all Big Ten honors. But with a rather underwhelming combine and concerns over health, he dropped as a prospect. The Bears' intentions was to have him work in reps behind Jeremy Langford, getting in every once in a while as a rotational back. But week 4 this season, with an injury to Jeremy Langford, Howard had to step up and become the feature back. 23 carries and 111 yards later, Howard helped carry the Bears to their first victory of the season, and the Bears never looked back. Howard was completely reliable all season long. He had 7 games with over 100 yards rushing. He ended up winning Rookie of the Month honors in the last month of the season. Also, Howard's consistency helped him to being second in the entire league in rushing yards, only behind fellow rookie Ezekiel Elliott. Also, this is the first time since the 1970 merger that the top 2 leading rushers were both rookies. Number 2, Tyreke Hill. Hill was a late 5th round pick in the 2016 NFL Draft. This human highlight reel has exploded onto the scene, and just thinking about his speed and playmaking ability makes you wonder how he could have possibly been drafted in the 5th round. The reason he was drafted so low wasn't his talent. The man was a junior Olympic champion and ran a 4.240 in college. The actual reason was his unique situation. He attended Oklahoma State and showed flashes of brilliance, but after a horrific incident involving domestic abuse, he was thrown off the team. Tyreke scrambled to put his life together, and he had to attend Western Alabama, a Division II school. And after putting up only average stats for even the Division II level, his NFL chances started to become out of reach. Teams had crossed Tyreke completely off their list. To them, he was someone who just wasn't worth the risk. And that's why the Chiefs were the perfect team for him. Maybe not the actual Chiefs franchise themselves, but head coach Andy Reid. Andy Reid has a bit of a history dealing with people who have had troubled pasts, including his own kids, and giving the second chance to Michael Vick. Remember how in Philly, Andy Reid brought him in and helped spark a bit of his successful comeback to football? And going back to Tyreke, because of Andy Reid's caring nature, he brought him in and was willing to give him a chance. He wanted to help him grow as a player and as a person. And Tyreke has been a great person off the field, having no issues. And to get back to the football perspective, Tyreke Hill has been remarkable. His speed and explosiveness is a spectacle. He almost single-handedly transformed the Chiefs into a multifaceted perennial powerhouse. With 12 total touchdowns, including 9 offensive and 3 special teams, Hill has been named first-team All-Pro and selected to the Pro Bowl. Although there was an uproar when the Chiefs drafted him, I would say fans are happy to have him now. It is important to give guys second chances. Number 3, Robert Kelly. Nicknamed Fat Rob, Kelly is a bruising downfield runner. Of all these rookies that I've talked about so far, he comes from the most humble position, being an undrafted free agent, which can feel like a slap to the face for a lot of these NFL hopefuls. Before Kelly was picked up in the offseason, the Redskins front office expressed their confidence in the second-year back Matt Jones. Kelly had a decent preseason, but only saw an average of less than 2.5 carries a game over their first 7 games. But with questions about Matt Jones being able to hold onto the ball and getting injured week 7, the torch was handed to Kelly. Fat Rob shined, rushing for 87 yards and a touchdown versus Cincinnati. And Kelly was also an excellent blocker in the backfield for Kirk Cousins and seemed to fit this offense very well. Fat Rob went on a string of exceptional games, including making Green Bay suffer all night long, having over 130 yards and 3 touchdowns in a 42-24 victory. Since he got his chance to start week 8, he has averaged over 65 yards and ended this season with 7 touchdowns. He ended up third of all rookies in rushing yards. and hardly played in the first 7 games. Remember, this man went undrafted, apparently not being good enough for a team to spend a draft pick on. This just goes to show you to never give up. Number 4, Jalen Rashard. We have another undrafted free agent. Undersized, versatile back out of Southern Miss. Oakland decided to sign him in May, after making a lasting impression on the coaches in training camp. They planned on using him in a variety of ways, and to start the season, it didn't take any time at all to make a difference. And after being down in the 4th, Derek Carr handed him the ball, and
he's loose. Jalen Rashard. It's going to be a touchdown, Raiders.
He played a major role in the thrilling victory for the Raiders in Week 1. And as fast as he is on the field, he almost instantaneously became a household name to Raiders fans everywhere, already showing that he'd be vital to the Raiders' success moving forward. He seems to be showing flashes of Darren Sproles, and after blazing defenses week in and week out, General Manager Richie McKenzie said he's the MVP of all undrafted free agents. My question is, there are 253 picks in the draft. You were telling me that there's 253 players better than this guy? And number 5, Dak Prescott. This one is obvious, and you should have seen it coming. A definite MVP contender this year, and was one of the catalysts to the Cowboys' incredible season. But it all started with a bit of controversy. 2 months before the draft, Dak was arrested for a DUI, and even though eventually he was found not guilty, it raised questions about him, and his stock dropped just a little bit. To think this all started with him being the 8th quarterback picked in the NFL draft. He was definitely not supposed to make any sort of impact, or even play right off the bat. But in the case of Tony Romo having injury problems, it was okay to have him ready. And sure enough, Romo went down. Dak came in and completely torched defenses during the preseason, creating buzz throughout the league. Some analysts were skeptical. Surely, he could not keep up this level of play like he did in the preseason. Here's what he did after the preseason. He broke Tom Brady's record for most pass attempts without an interception to start a career. He finished in the top 5 in multiple passing categories. And he led Dallas to the number 1 seed in the NFC. I would say he silenced the doubters pretty well. The poise he has shown stepping up into this role on one of the most storied franchises is beyond his years, and this has to have Cowboys fans excited for years to come. These list of players just goes to show you that it doesn't matter where you're drafted, or if you're even undrafted, you can always make a difference. So thank you for checking out this video. This video took a lot longer than I wanted it to because I just moved back for school and I've been scrambling to find time to make this video. I'm sorry about my microphone quality. I'm going to invest into a new microphone here pretty soon. I want to up my quality with how fast the channel's been growing. I cannot believe the support I've received. It's been amazing. And if you haven't subbed yet, go ahead and subscribe. I definitely appreciate it. Also, don't forget to join my Fire Fan League down below. So have a good one, and I'll catch you on my next video.